Hey, what's up, guys? It's Gibbs here. I'm back with another tactical recreation. As I said in the last video, I was bringing a lot over the next few days just to show a bit of thanks and a bit of, praise for the viewers that have came and seen me so far and made this past month really worthwhile and getting into YouTube and really taking a step further than just, an average video or trying to improve constantly. So, as you can see, we're with Barcelona today. This is Kike Setien's tactic. Now, I found this one an interesting one to pick, mainly because there isn't a lot of data to look at. There's not a lot of analysis out there. There's not a lot of game data. There's not a lot of footage. I just had to go off of some key games and how they've set up, because if you look at their biggest games, that's how they typically want to set up. And we've found a lot of similarities between that and some of the smaller games I've played as well. So as you can see, it's a typical 4-3-3 as you'd expect from a Barcelona side. Valverde kind of took them away from that, but bringing in Setién really took them back to the basics of how they really got big in this Tiki Taka style. As you can see, it is a custom Tiki Taka. The only reason for the custom is just there's a couple of tweaks here and there that I've made, which isn't too bad, but it's certainly worked for us a lot, and there's certainly some good, really good passes of play that we see in this. So as you can see, it is pretty typical. The defence is slightly different, but we'll just take you through attack first. Ansu Fati we've decided to use rather than Ousmane Dembele or Griezmann out left with Suarez up front, mainly because of how he's came into the team and Setien's came in. He's been very good for us with 7 goals and 6 assists at that inside forward attacking. He really gets up the pitch. He does kind of, make it right next to Griezmann a lot of the time, even as an inverted winger. So we have found a couple of issues with that, but on the whole, it's been pretty good. The main guy in your team, Lionel Messi, 24 games, 23 goals, 11 assists. You can't take anything away from this man. He's just absolutely excellent. Similar to him around the Juventus one, we really wanted to get the best out of him, and the same as did Ronaldo. So we think we've fully done that. 34 goal contributions in 24 games is nothing to shy away from. A 32-year-old as well. He's still got to be the main person in your team. And then Griezmann up top as well. 14 goals in 24 games, but his passing percentage and things, it shows really. 18 games, 95% passing. It's very good. So we've been pleased with that front three. As for the middle, it's a pretty standard Tiki Taka system. These three are really going to make up a lot of your play in terms of your build up. Busquets, especially, has been excellent. Again, 97% tackling accuracy, 96% net passing accuracy. He's just been absolutely tremendous. If we look at just the league alone, 2,546 passes attempted, and then 2,447 succeeded. Failing 99 passes out of 2,000 is unbelievable for a player in that position, especially now with the high presses that you see. So that is really terrific. Similar with De Jong, if we go ahead and look at the league, he fails slightly more and does slightly less passes. However, a lot of his passes are more forward. And we're happy enough with that. If he's going to be bringing the game forward more than Busquets says, a lot of his are side passes to either Alba or De Jong or Arthur, because he sits slightly wider. So on to the defence. No, so as you can see, it is strange, but it is the way Setien has, set up his team, and it is the only tactic we've done so far where we felt that we might had to go into the transfer market to just make it suit FM20. But then you see the finances of Barcelona, and it didn't look good. I wasn't wanting unhappiness. I wasn't wanting a potential sale on the cards through this to cause unrest. So I just left it as is. And I'm pretty sure that transfer budget might have got upped as well. I'm pretty sure it might have been lower than 66 million at the start. But we worked it out by using Roberto there. So it's just two standard box to box ballplaying defenders even, and they've been terrific for us. PK and Longley. We've not conceded a lot of goals. The ones we have conceded have tend to come down this right side with crosses into the box, and we'll explain that in a second, which is a slight issue, but and we're trying to keep to Setien's way, and it's worked fairly well. So the only instruction we do have is on Langley. He's a left-footed centre half, and we have him on stay wider, whereas with PK we've got him on hold position in the middle. This is because when they attack, similar to a Guardiola system, you look to make a back three, and Setien certainly chooses the right back to do that, allowing Alba with all his pace to overlap this inverted winger and really make some distance. Just to add as well, we do have Arthur on stay wider, just to keep that width in the right as Messi cuts in, because we do have him on dribble more. So he in cut inside. So if you use the tactic, you'll certainly see him darting forward from the right side over to the left and then cutting back across to get a shot off, and he scored a lot of his goals that way. So we've got Roberto here. He's a very good passer of the ball. He's a good fullback. He was originally a centre mid, so he suits well. We've got him in dribble less, sitting narrower. Certainly suits the role. He does venture forward, just because if he was in a fullback position, he is going to, but he tends to be a lot more reserved to, maybe lay it off to Messi or Arthur if they're there. Alba, on the other hand, is a complete wing back. He'll bomb up and down the wing, more up than down, as we've found out. But with Busquets, he tends to cover, and De Jong tends to cover that side very well. So there's not been much issue with that. So we'll just go and look at the competitions. As you can see, top of the group, we did have one loss at home to Leverkusen. A running theme with the past couple of videos is we've instant resulted the Champions League, just to get as good results as we can in the league when we're focusing on a smaller amount of games. And the Champions League, as you can see, even with our instant result in it, it's been really good performances. Every game that we won, we didn't concede, and then a 0-0 draw. So one goal conceded in 6 games in the Champions League is not bad. We'll take that any day of the week, especially in a pretty tough group, to be fair, for FM standards. Lokomotiv Moscow not so much, but Tottenham and Leverkusen are not easy, and to come away from that with top spot by 3 points is pretty good. In the league, completely different story, obviously. We've got Barcelona sitting at the top of that with only one draw at home to Celta Vigo, and the rest of them have all been very good results. As you can see, if you are keen-eyed, Messi has only scored in the Liga Santander, whereas Champions League, it has been Griezmann getting most of the goals. So it just shows the difference in maybe play styles of teams. But Messi's certainly not. He's got most assists for us in 3. So I'm certainly not bothered in him maybe performing slightly under where he could be in the Champions League, especially in the group stage. He's a player that will come into his own in the the later rounds. But in the league, as you can see, performances wise, excellent. I mean, you can just see here, the amount of games we went in a run without conceding was unbelievable. And then, conceding Leverkusen, but we still went on in the league, and we didn't concede up until the last game, actually, 90th minute career goal. So we can't complain too much with that. But, it's been a successful tactic. Yeah, we're really happy with it. Can't complain at all, really. I think the one only issue I had with it at the very start was Alba. So we did move Longley out wider, because it then gives PK that chance to he does sit slightly to the right, but it just comes more centrally because Longley pushes over and it forces him into the middle, especially with Roberto sitting slightly more narrow. But as always, guys, I will leave the download in the description, and I hope you can get a lot of good results with this tactic, because as you can see, I certainly have, and I've really been happy and proud to bring this one to you just because of how little data there was and how well it's actually turned out. But I've been Gibbs, it's been great having you, and I hope we see you in the next one. Cheers.